What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a film I got to check out just a little bit early, and that's thanks to the kind folks over at Vertical Entertainment, so a big thanks to them. And that movie is called Bleeding Love. This is the feature-length debut of director Emma Westenberg and stars people like Ewan McGregor, Clara McGregor, Jake Weary, Kim Zimmer, Vera Boulder, and many more. So going into this movie, I was really intrigued, most notably because Ewan McGregor is one of the main stars. And if you recently saw my vlog that I did here on the channel for my time at MegaCon in Orlando, then you know I actually got to meet Ewan McGregor recently. You obviously know I'm a ginormous Star Wars fan, and anytime I get to see any Star Wars actor in something else, I'm always happy to do so. And Ewan McGregor is one of those actors that has really just done incredible things outside of Star Wars, even before his time in Star Wars, whether it's something like Trainspotting or Moulin Rouge, so many other films, The Island, whatever the case may be. I've always been a huge fan of the various choices he makes as an actor. So when I saw that he was doing this movie that has his daughter in one of the lead roles alongside him, where they both play father and daughter, I was intrigued. And Clara McGregor, his daughter who plays his daughter in this film, is also one of the 4 writers on this film. So you put that all together and I was intrigued to check this movie out without a doubt. When Vertical Entertainment sent me over the email, I was like, absolutely, I want a screener. I want to be able to check this movie out. So with all that said, let's talk about what this movie is all about. Bleeding Love starts off and we're introduced to a father and a daughter that we're pretty instantly introduced to the fact that they don't really have a great relationship. Over the course of the first part of the movie, we learn pretty quickly that Ewan McGregor's character was a bit of an alcoholic and a deadbeat dad back in the day, which kind of ruined this relationship that he had with his young daughter, who now has just had an overdose. So due to her overdose, he actually drove to where she was, even though he's got his own family somewhere else. He's got a new kid somewhere else with a new wife, and now he's driving his daughter, who just had this overdose, across the country to try to take her to a rehab. Meanwhile, she thinks that he's just there to kind of, enjoy time with her, just kind of maybe try to show up in her life now, but she's kind of questioning why he's here now. Why are you in my life now? Why did it take an OD for you to show up in my life? And this movie has a lot to say about generational trauma, generational substance abuse, and just substance abuse in general. I think if you're somebody who has struggled with substance abuse, maybe you have generational addiction in your family, or you have people in your family who have had substance abuse, there's going to be some heavy moments in this film that might be a little bit hard to watch. And as somebody who has had abuse of substances in my personal family, specifically around alcohol, yeah, there's definitely elements about this film that feel incredibly real and incredibly tangible. And I think that both Ewan McGregor and Clara McGregor, his daughter, do an incredible job to give very realistic performances in this film. And that's without a doubt one of the best parts of this film. The performances from both Ewan and Clara McGregor I thought were easily the best parts of this movie. And with all of that said, I have to say, unfortunately, that I wasn't a huge fan of this film outside of those elements. While I found the film to be competently shot and well put together in a lot of ways, with solid performances at the center and some strong themes that you can definitely take something away from, and a really nice father-daughter story throughout the course of the runtime, even if it is hard at times for them, even if there is heartbreak that's attached to it. I like the way that the film kind of came to a conclusion with those two characters, but I have to be honest in saying that the journey was a little bit muddled for me. A lot of the film just kind of felt like it meandered for me. It felt like a lot of this film is just a road trip with a father and a daughter doing a bunch of dumb things. There are sequences that feel like they shouldn't have been a part of this movie. And when the film really hones in on that broken relationship between this father and daughter, when the film really hones in on these substance abuse issues, when it really hones in on the main themes and the struggles that our characters are going through, that's where I felt like this film shined the most. I feel like that's where Clara McGregor and Ewan McGregor were able to shine the most. But there were segments of this movie where the characters have to stop and kind of get caught up in something else with some other characters that oftentimes had me scratching my head as to why they even included certain things, which left a lot of the film kind of feeling very boring to me. There's a lot of just slow movement throughout the road trip that just feels like, why are we doing this? Why are we stopping here? Why is this character involved in this sequence? And a lot of it, just like I said before, it just feels like it meandered throughout the story until we kind of landed on really key moments. And as I mentioned, this is the feature-length debut of the director, Emma Westenberg, and most of the stuff she's worked on before have been short films or music videos or music-related projects. And in some ways, I almost feel like this movie would have been better as a shorter film, maybe even something around 30 to 40 minutes, because I think they could have really honed in on some of those moments that really worked and kind of cut some of the fluff that felt like it was just kind of included for whatever reason. There's a sequence with a prostitute in a certain sequence of the film that I found just why did they even include that in the film? It had me scratching my head throughout the entirety of the segment that included that character. And that's just one of a few moments in this film that just had me curious as to why they would include that in the movie, and ultimately just moments that I felt detracted from the overall story of the father and daughter, the substance abuse, the generational trauma, the generational substance abuse addiction, all of that. That element of the film was just so strong, and it was just heartbreaking to be amidst a movie that just felt slow at times. This movie comes out at an hour and 40 something minutes and genuinely felt like it was over 2 hours at times due to the pacing and some of the detours that we take in this narrative. Again, I really want to highlight that I think that Clara McGregor and Ewan McGregor are incredible in their roles here. They play father and daughter very well, which probably was very easy for them as they are real father and daughter. There's some really charming moments, most notably a moment where they're singing a song that is very fitting for the title of this movie. And, you know, there's moments in this film I really liked. I actually really wanted to enjoy this film more. There was a part of me that as I was watching it and realizing that I wasn't a huge fan of it as we were more than halfway through it, that I was struggling with the fact that I didn't like it. You know, I wanted to like this movie. I wanted to like this overall journey of this father and daughter, because the moments that worked for me really worked, and the rest of it just felt so muddled and so random and oftentimes so slow that I found myself caring less and less and less. And by the time the credits started rolling at the end, while I do enjoy the conclusion of the story and I did enjoy that father-daughter journey, there was just something about the film that ultimately felt a little bit hollow at times, a little bit aimless at times, and just, without, you know, really saying too many more words, just boring at times. That's just the best way I can put it. But I do think Ewan McGregor and Clara McGregor were great in this film, and I look forward to seeing them together, hopefully, in better projects in the future. So that's my thoughts on Bleeding Love. Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about this film. Is this a film that's on your radar? Are you planning on checking it out? Or if you're checking out this review long after the movie's already come out, definitely leave your comments down below. Did you like this movie? Did you not like this movie? Whatever the case may be, I definitely can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. So definitely hit that like button down below, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you beautiful people in the next one. Bye-bye.